Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. The World Series is tied up at one game apiece as they split the two games on the road. Astros winning last night by a lot. Let's talk about it. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. My name is Jimmy. I got Trevor coming to you from California. Jake sitting next to me to my left, and BBD in the corner producing the show. World Series, Trev, tied up at one apiece, which leads us closer to the Braves winning in 6. Do you feel good about that? You needed both teams to win one.
Yes. 1-1 tie is good for me in that regard. Braves needed to win one to be part of this series down in Houston. They did that. And now what? I have to go 3 of the next 4 for the Braves? That seems daunting. It really does. Oh, man. But, yeah, it could happen. And you know what I'm going to do with it, James? I'm going to NFT it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. For those people listening, I've been boring James to death with my talk about crypto. Me and Nestor Cortez are basically crypto kingpins. Something like that. Jake, how are you?
Cryptologists, I think is the term.
Yeah.
I'm doing well, fellas. Happy Thursday. Through the first 2 games of the World Series, getting ready to buckle up for a weekend, the last weekend of baseball. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. With the Astros wins, we're guaranteed at least Sunday. And, yeah, excited to look into the future a little bit and see where your guys' heads are at after we get through this game, because there's some fun stuff going on. I mean, we're Ion Anderson, then double bullpen day coming up. The Atlanta Braves are undefeated at home this postseason, which I really like that. That's fun juice. That's kind of what sports are all about. But, yeah, and a spooky weekend. Halloween coming up. Episode 420, Jim!
It's episode 420?
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
Wow.
Get excited. It's a weed thing.
It is a weed
Just so
thing.
you know.
It is a weed thing.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Foolish baseball in the chat.
Wow.
Celebrity.
Oh, my
He made
God.
Everyone ask him to release the Out of the Park baseball video we did. We're waiting.
I thought you said it was bad.
Bailey.
He deleted it. He recorded it the wrong way.
Ooh.
James, I'm sorry. I interrupted. How are you doing? I'm so sorry. But
I'm good.
Bailey's
I'm good.
here.
A little underslept, but that's fine. I mean, Chris Rose was here, and Rosie's the best, so that was a lot of fun yesterday. We decided to have a fat day on stream. I wish we didn't, but I enjoyed it. I don't even know how much I enjoyed it in the time. But so sluggish this morning for me. Sluggish. I'm also waiting for a moment. Like I hate to be a downer on the World Series, but Astros fans hear me say this and think it's a shot at them, but like one of the more boring postseason runs for a team. If you're an Astros fan, it's very exciting. It's very awesome. You win by a lot when you win. You've advanced every time. But like besides that tied at 2 game against the Red Sox, and like every Astros game's over after 3 innings, and then it's just dull for a while. Which I think has benefited them, because when they lose big, and when they win big. And there's just like, had there been 2 Astros games where they've been late and close and tense out of 12 now? It's wild. They're basically playing 3-inning games, and then they just let it linger.
Okay.
So
do you think World Series just preheating the oven
I hope so.
a little bit?
I hope so. I hope we get a weekend of just nonsense. Silliness and like late close, edge of seat. Everyone's like, what the hell's going to happen? I need to know.
Yeah, it's funny. The Ryan Presley, the Astros closer, Trevor Plouffe's friend,
Yes.
Chris Rose, accidentally called him the wrong name once, and he said Ryan was really cool about that. made some good jokes about it afterwards. Ryan Presley, I was shocked to just look up. He's pitched in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games this postseason. He's pitched in 7 games this postseason, which seemed high with all the Astros numbers. He has 1 save. So to James's point, normally in a postseason baseball, your closer comes in, you're kind of grabbing the seat on the sofa. You're grabbing your buddy next to you, staring into their eyes, wondering, are they going to make it? Am I going to make it? Who's going to make the first move?
Where are we grabbing?
And yeah, he's only had that 1 save. So, yeah, and I was hoping that the Houston-Boston series was going to provide. We thought we were going to get 1 masher game there. Like, 3-run home run. Oh, they hit a grand slam. Oh, 2-run homer. It's tied. That never really happened. So, yeah, no, I think Houston's path, you can say, from an outsider world, excitement-wise, kind of hasn't had a ton of juice so far. Houston fans should appreciate that and enjoy it.
For them, it's been awesome.
And, hey, maybe this middle series gets messy with double bullpen day.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. There's a couple days coming up here that could be strange baseball, not foolish baseball. We don't want that.
No.
Give me some strange ball.
Saw our guy Jolly Olive in here a second ago. I think our other
baby.
2 celebs that usually check in are the Diamondbacks and Fuzzy. So we'll see if we can pitch a perfect game this episode.
You want to burn while they're here?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
You get nervous.
So much pressure coming down on me.
Let's do it. Let's try your hardest. Do your best. Live life a little. Name on the front means a whole lot more than name on the back. Miles and miles of heart.
It's our year.
Common.
Crew.
To
Runs or
uncommon.
runs?
Uncommon.
Me, Jimmy, and Chris Rose are now experts in teams and how many World Series titles they have.
Oh, that Sporkle will come out in probably 6
Month.
weeks, and
Yeah.
it's the most depressing video.
So that's a little future ad.
Yeah, that's called a future ad. This is called a now ad. This one's brought to you by Dugout Mugs.
Yes.
I wonder if they're out. See these metal ones? These metal ones are cool, Trev. And then they have the new ones where you can get inked up. You can get these Atlanta ones with the ink on them.
I'm inked up.
They were giving the first 100 orders of the inked up were 43% off. In day 1, we sold 73. So I think yesterday.
All of yesterday, there's only 27 left.
Yeah, yesterday's 27 left. They're probably out, so you guys probably missed the 43% off, but still try.
Go ask, yeah.
Dugoutmugs.com.
Do it.
That's one of those you go to a place and it's like, we stopped serving breakfast at 10:30 and it's 10:45. And you say, well,
Throw some eggs on the
you
griddle
make one
for
more
me.
omelet. And
Yeah.
they'll probably say yes.
I like saying,
Eggs are
I like
eggs.
when you say, do you have any in the back? And they say, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I used to do that when I worked at Safeway. Like, they'd be out of, like, some version of bread, and they'd ask me, a 16-year-old kid, like, do you think they have any in the back? And I was like, I don't go back there. Not allowed.
Okay.
Got no idea. Anyway, Dugout Mugs, they got the metal bat. You can use our discount code JOMBOY, and you can get that for 35% off, or they have the inked bats. It was 43% off first 100 orders. You can still check it out. Don't even need a discount code for that. Dugout Mugs is awesome. Guy who invented them used to be in the Blue Jays organization as a pitcher.
Randall.
Oh, wow. Wait, how come I didn't know that?
I don't know.
Did I touch him up?
You guys think you're ever
Randall
in the
Thompson?
You think? Can you get a?
Shoot.
You ever in the bushes together?
Can we get 2 tabs open? Randall Thompson minor league years, and then we'll get Trev's, and then we'll see if they ever met.
You looking?
Yeah.
You have Randall Thompson. I have Trev.
If you guys
Yeah, I
have
know my
faced
years.
each
You
other,
don't- you don't need-
2011,
you don't need-
Trev was already out of the bushes. Did
No,
you
I
ever?
was in the bushes for a time. Where was he at?
He was in.
You have to get AAA.
No, rookie ball.
Never mind.
Damn.
You would have taken him
Well,
up top.
Oh my!
So he started making mugs,
And he
bro.
started making bats. Go to dugoutmugs.com. Code JOHNBOY, 35% off the metal ones, which are cool. Let's burn, Jake.
Oh yeah.
Let's burn Jake.
Let's burn. Jake gonna burn Jake. We're gonna burn Trev. Braves winning
Episode
6.
420. How many guys Trevor Plouffe showered with?
I got to pee a little bit. Burn, Jakey, burn!
Game 2 as the Astros try to not get Texas two-stepped on in Houston. Jose, can I see your cat, a.k.a. show me your kitty, as his beard tries to get a win versus the Braves as they try to be this October's Gladiators. Maximus, as he is freed up to take the rubber. Bottom one, Bregman sacrifices himself for the team as he flies out to center. 1-0, H-Town with the roof open. Ooh, Travis Dar, yes, he goes solo dong into the Crawford boxes. We are tied up at 1, but in the second, it would get messy. Why so serious? Jose Siri infield single makes it 2-1. Machete Maldonado, how about it, big fella? He gets the RBI single, and then they have a little bit of a snowball fight in Houston, throwing it around, not pretty. Michael Brantley, Dr. Smooth. Holy cow, does he look good right now. It is 5-1 after 2. In the 5th, Freddie, there he is. RBI single goes the opposite way. It's 5-2 as they show good. 5-2. Urquidy was good. 5 innings, 2 earned runs. Max Fried bounces back at the end to give him some innings, but 5 innings, 6 earned runs. They would put on the 6 and a Yuli Gurriel fielder's choice. And then your number 2 home run hitter in the history of playoff baseball, Jose Altuve. 7-2 final as Houston ties up the series at 1s.
Do another blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Badass.
Yeah, I should have been.
I didn't know where you were going with that. Why so serious?
Me neither.
You nailed it.
Nailed it. Yeah, really brought that one
Well,
home.
everyone was going with the Siri jokes.
Yeah,
for
almost
Jose.
makes me dislike him.
I love it.
No.
I just can't hear another "Hey Siri" joke.
Yeah, well, that's like.
So I'm glad Jake pivoted. He's a smart man.
When they zig, you got to sack. Football coach Storielli never worked out.
Yeah, 5-2 was good.
What, Trev, I watched this game with James and Chris Rose, formerly of the MLB Network. We live streamed it. A little over 3.5 hours, I think. Shorter game. 3.5 on the nose. Under 3.5.
I think our stream was 317.
Wow. And we got started right before first pitch. Trev, what were you watching in this game, Big Daddy?
I kind of agree with James where, Darno hits the homer, makes it 1-1, and then they score the runs in the second inning. I think there wasn't really like another moment where I was like, okay, like here we go, except for I believe it was the 6th inning. Let me see. Let me get it up. I'm talking the Braves are at bat. Someone doubled. Soler doubles. And they got Jock and Duvall, a chance to, make it a 5-4 game. And Javier figures that out. And after that, it was over. I agree. There wasn't many tense moments in this game. You can 5-1, 5-2, even 6-2. Those aren't, insurmountable leads, especially there. But there just never was a moment besides that 6th inning where I was like, okay, like they can make it close and do something. Houston just kind of controlled the game from the get-go.
I've been confused.
And Urquidy did well.
Urquidy. I've been confused by a lot of shifts
Yeah.
this postseason. The Braves shifted on Yuli with 2 strikes, and they went all the way to the pull side. Stop shifting on righties is what I keep saying. We did this. Was it Cardinals, Dodgers, Trevor? Was it Yankees, Red Sox? Where when you were with us in the live stream, and then I pulled up the spray charts, and it just didn't add up. And then I did it on a live stream with another player too, and I did it with Yuli. I mean, I don't know if we can share this with the chat, but these are all his ground ball hits with 2 strikes. And with 2 strikes, they shifted to pull it. And I don't know what information they're looking at. It's different. I know they have stuff that the public doesn't have, but I mean, his spray chart on ground balls just doesn't say to shift him that way. And it leads to
I don't know if it has something to do with Max's 2-strike to righties.
Yeah. That would be
like
the only
that,
thing
but-
that we don't have, like verse lefties.
I can do it.
You can do it.
We can do it. We have it.
Sometimes I feel like they're just shifting to shift. Like, and I'm for it when the data says to do it, but you know, there's a lot of like good information that we can look at.
Yeah, Erica has a bunch on our sheet. During the regular season, infield shifted for only 3% of Gurriel's balls in play. He's 8 for 16 in those at bats. I don't really understand that one, actually, now that I read it out loud.
And
They only shifted him 3% on the infield. Whatever. James, what were you going to say?
I don't know. And then obviously the defense just unraveled, and
Yeah.
they throw it to third base and no one's there, and Siri goes home, and that's kind of like, you know, Max came back from that. And I'm happy for him, like on a personal level, because he needs to pitch another game. He needs to pitch again in this series. So I'm happy that he found success in the later innings, and mentally he can take that and move forward with it. But a couple of those, that inning was brutal.
Yeah.
yeah, Max ends up finishing the next 9 in a row?
I think he had 10 in a row.
10, because he gets
86 pitches.
the last out in the second, and then 1, 2, 3, third, fourth, and fifth, including finishing the 5th inning, striking out Michael Brantley, who's on a warpath right now. I think he's 5 for 9, and then he strikes out Bregman. So like, hey, Max Fried, that's a tough inning. The shifts he did to himself a little bit. They were hitting him harder early. But yeah, if and when Max Fried gets another shot in this series, I think he's going to be feeling good. Feels like whatever it was clicked towards the end there. We're on.
So that's Max
is-
Fried with two strikes, ground balls put in play on the ground. Max Fried 2 strikes. So I mean, there's a cluster over at short, but there's also a cluster right where Yuli hit it. So yeah, I just, man, I mean, I know they don't do it publicly, but I'd love to be able to like have a private conversation with whoever makes that decision, because they got to be looking at some information that I don't know, like, or have just a different formula than pitcher's history and batter's history and stuff. It's like there's been a couple on righties that just don't make sense to me. So I don't know, weird. I just want to learn why they're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, what else do we really have here? Trev, you mentioned so Max starts battling and gets Gross on the mound 10 straight. It's 5-2, and you're right, that Soler double, I think I took my blitzball at bat of the game with Jock. Because, yeah, man, that would have been another, like, okay, Max just kind of dropped it for us. He got us 10 more outs that we didn't have to use our bullpen. If we can make this a 5-3 game, but Javier shuts him down. He's been Houston's kind of bullpen weapon. And, yeah, I mean, there's the Ozzy Albies fielder's choice, turn in the double play, that a run scores on that one. There's the snowball fight in the second inning that, you know, if you start doing some turkey math, you can get this down to a 4-2 game, which the energy would have felt a lot different, where it never really felt like the Braves were in striking distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good, though. I mean, look, Atlanta's got to be happy going down and getting 1 in Houston. They're coming away minus a starting pitcher. That's no good. But Ion on the mound tomorrow versus who?
Luis Garcia.
Garcia, that's right.
I like him.
This series is like we've been saying the whole time. You know, you can look ahead and talk about matchups and all this stuff, but in the end, I think these games are just so hard to predict.
Yeah, I mean,
So hard to predict.
Max going out and getting 5 innings. And then, I mean, if you're looking on the Braves, kind of like a bright side on the Braves, they didn't burn many pitchers, so their bullpen should be like, with 2 days off, all their top guys down there. Because the Braves went Fried, Lee, Chavez, Smiley, right. Obviously, the Braves have used their bullpen like every single game. Is this the first game Matzik didn't pitch?
I think it's the
Second.
second.
Second. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, you have 3 now at home, and those 4, Smith, Matzik, Minter, and the other one that they use a lot that I can't think of right now that I'm blanking on. That's always in the mix. Those 4 guys. Jackson are going to be there. Are going to be available for all 3. So, like, not a bad one. Not a bad fashion to lose. Down early, didn't burn bullpen. Fried was able to give you 5. Fried looks good at the end of 5. On Houston's side, you win an Urquidy game, and I don't know. I didn't have that much confidence in him going in. Maybe Houston did. And then the bats show signs of life, and they caused havoc. It was a fun one to win for the Astros. Like, Siri put on a show.
Well, A-Rod put it very eloquently. He said that, they had a couple anti-analytic innings. I'm trying to say, people in the chat say I say inning and not inning, and maybe I do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's fine. I say Twitter and not Twitter.
Twitter. I said Twitter with 2 Ds.
No, I say it with a CHW. I didn't
Twitcher?
realize I did. Twitter. Chwe.
Oh.
And I can't fix it.
Okay.
And I don't care. So, yeah, it's good.
Couple anti-analytic innings, hit the ball soft, and you hit it where they're not. That's the A-Rod school of baseball. What did you guys have on the transfer play?
Out.
With Albies.
Out. I mean, I don't understand it. And Ted Barrett called him out and then changed it on the field. So then when you go to replay, it's like, well, clearly that dude doesn't really, we're going to bank it on his decision. He was pretty wishy-washy with it. He literally changed it himself. Didn't know. I don't know, like we were saying on the live stream, like I don't know the rule book. I don't know when they put the headset on what they're looking for, like guidelines to actually make the call. Because if you just use like a brain and you say, if that's the 3rd out of the inning, does he catch it? Yes. If he doesn't have any attempt to try and turn that into double play, is that ball going to stay in his possession and he just catch it? Absolutely. You'd have to be really biased to say otherwise. So it's because he tried to transfer it, he lost the ball. But once he calls him safe on the field, they're not going to overturn it. The umps are all a gang.
Yeah, that's where
that was interesting.
Go
ahead, Jay.
I don't know the verbiage of the rules, and that's where I don't get too much on Ted Barrett for changing the call, because that actually is kind of a proud move by the umpire. Like, there's a lot of umpires that Ted Barrett, if the rule says, like, that who knows what the rule actually says, the ball has to be in their hands or whatever it is. It seems like he made the call. He saw what happened when it came out of Albies' gloves, and then he changed it, which to me, that's the umpire saying, like, well, I made the wrong call. I need to correct this.
I also agree with that.
So
it shouldn't hold water.
Like, I guess that's where I don't know. If Ted Barrett had called it out and they went to review, would they have overturned it? And then is Ted Barrett worried about overturned stuff, or is there so much gray there that we don't know? Common sense-wise, that should have been an out.
Yeah, I mean the rules here. You want me to read the rule?
Read it.
It's not a really gray rule here.
Okay.
A catch is the act of a fielder in getting secure possession in his hand or glove of a ball in flight and firmly holding it, providing he does not use his cap protector, pocket, or any other part of his uniform in getting possession. So that's just a catch.
It's a catch.
And now going down to if the fielder has made the catch and drops the ball while in the act of making the throw following the catch, the ball shall be adjudged to have been caught. So even in the rule book, it kind of leans to that being an out. Like, it's in the act of throwing. The only thing I saw was there are times when you're catching a ball where you do catch it and then transfer. And then there's times where you're trying to be really quick and your glove is much flatter and you're not squeezing. You're just holding it flat. That's what he did yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, it was going to go palm to hand.
Yeah.
There was never really any squeezing action, but that's also a pro move.
That's how they
That's
transfer.
what they want to do.
Yeah. It's weird. I mean,
Yeah,
you watch Omar Vizquel.
if you have time,
do
you
those-
catch it. But
You watch Omar Vizquel do those drills. He doesn't catch a single ball, but because he's trying to just transfer real quick. But I get that. I mean, just squeeze it, Ozzy, and make sure you get that first out. But he's trying to turn 2. So
Yeah.
I just think common sense says if he's not trying to turn 2, it's out. It was in his glove and it stays there. But I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, so,
I thought it was an out also.
yeah,
And then I thought it was brilliant that they double stole right after that.
brilliant.
Love that.
Always.
Love that.
It's the best move.
Love
That was great by Tucker.
People are like, and then on it, man. I love it. I love watching the Astros play baseball. I really do.
Well, I like the way they're running,
fun.
like and doing that stuff, and Siri running and be like both teams are kind of been aggressive on the base paths, and that's fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Altuve,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should talk about him a little bit,
good.
man. And just what he's done in the postseason, where he's going to end up. I mean, he's got a long time left. He's got a lot of career left. This guy's going to end up being like, I mean, maybe where is he at in at bats?
how old is he now?
Is he close?
Is he 30, 31?
31.
And he's short, so he's going to live a longer life,
Everyone knows that.
less injured, and I think they say smarter too. So he'll probably play till 45.
It'll be tough
All
for
right.
him with the
All-time hits, at bats, everything. Probably.
Mariners taking over the West next year. That'll be tough for him, but maybe he gets traded there. Another Mariners Astros trade.
He's got 22 homers in the playoffs. Fucking A, man.
It's nuts.
Good for you.
Crazy. The shot of Dusty telling him that too is really cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
75 games, 22 home runs.
Did you hear him cut off A-Rod? It's a good soundbite.
Dude, I was just going to say, I watched a ton of his post-game stuff, and he's so cool. Like, I hate that people hate him. Like, I think I understand what happened in 2017. The guy could have been, like, one of the faces of baseball. He sort of is, and not the way that he wanted to be. But what he does in the postseason, like his demeanor, his attitude.
He's
like
my favorite player, Trev.
Me too. The Astros were like my favorite team.
I know. I used to say Verlander was my favorite non-Yankee pitcher, and Altuve was my favorite non-Yankee hitter. I don't know. Altuve is still cool. Feel bad for him. The tattoo stuff was super weird.
Tattoo stuff was weird. I always like to mention the fact that he did rarely ever use the system.
Yeah, but he won an MVP off his teammates winning.
He did. Runners on base helps 100%.
Run scored help.
I'm just saying, I still love the guy.
Did you hear that interview where he cut off A-Rod, though?
Yes.
A-Rod was trying to say, like, you struck out. What a weird opening question from A-Rod.
So weird. You sucked. But
Yeah.
then you didn't suck.
Yeah, here it is for anyone who doesn't know.
What happened?
Jose, we were talking, Alex here. We were talking last night. You striking out twice looking is so unusual for you. Tonight.
Yeah, but it's Charlie Morton.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's fair.
You're right.
That's a
The whole time Altuve is not smiling or laughing or joking.
No.
He's like,
No.
shut up.
Also, because he's tired. Like, you know how much freaking media these guys have to do? And he has to sit and listen to A-Rod after a game?
And A-Rod opens up with, yesterday you struck out twice looking. Instead of, like, you're second all time. Whatever. Rosie does an A-Rod impression that makes him sound like Dr. Evil.
But it fits.
And BBD has a new saying about Bregman that is poetry. Do you want to hear it?
BBD's new saying. Are you ready?
Do you want to
for
hear
it?
it?
Yes.
Alex Bregman, before he loved being the heel of baseball, liked being the villain until it was a real thing.
He liked being the villain until it was a real thing.
Until it was real.
Kind of hits
Yeah.
the nail on the head. Like he liked
100%.
when he was like, "Oh, you guys love to hate me because I'm good and having fun," and now he's just disappeared. He's just not the same dude at all.
Yeah, 100%. You say that for a couple different guys, but definitely him.
I'll give him another hype vid.
Yeah.
He needs it.
I was watching all this like pre and post game stuff. These guys, like, it's the end of the season. They're running on straight adrenaline right now during the games, and like MLB makes them do so much silly stuff. And I get it, you're promoting the game.
Yeah.
But I watched Dansby and Brett Phillips interact, and Dansby just did not want to be there. Did not want to be there. And I know that's kind of his personality. Like, he's just really cool. But it was pretty funny to see. You could just tell he's like, dude, I'm just trying to take batting practice. I'm getting ready for the fucking World Series. Like, I don't want to hear your stories right now.
I get it, but also, like, you got to do it because that's how you're going to, like, get shine, get FaceTime. That's part of the entertainment of it. Especially if you're, like, the pretty boy shortstop.
Yeah.
Only other thing, well, from one pretty boy shortstop to another, only other thing that felt kind of significant is Jose Siri. That Astros center field, I've been racking my brain for months. We went free agency last year. I was like, who are the Astros going to get in center field? Trade deadline this year. Who are the Astros going to get in center field? They actually traded away to get Phil Maton. Who's that guy? We had the
Straw.
Miles Flaw.
Straw.
Miles Straw.
A mild flaw.
Mild Flaws. Miles Straw.
Yeah, basically.
They traded him to Cleveland, and he was kind of their center fielder. So I was like, what's going on? Starling Marte gets traded to the Athletics. I'm like, the Astros, at every position, they're stacked. Except, catcher, but they obviously love Maldonado. They've proven that, and he shows why. And it's catchers. We get that. Center field, there's not as much talent as you'd expect in the league to be in center field, but this is the Houston Astros. So they're going with our guy, Sea Festival, Chas McCormick. We see Rake Myers. He runs into the wall, and he's out there. Jose Siri, man, he has the swag of this team, and that might mean nothing to you, and that's fine. And by the way, after his first electric infield single, he does strike out every at-bat. I don't know, man. Defensively, he feels impactful in center field. Offensively / on the bases, he feels like a threat. 99th percentile speed in his short time in the big leagues. He's got the chance. He feels like the guy that should be in center field for the Astros. And, hey, maybe it's just right time, right place this 7-game series. Maybe Chas McCormick's a stud or Jake Myers or whoever it is. But right now, Jose Siri, he feels like the guy that should be in center field for them.
Did you watch his dancing videos?
I watched one of them. I didn't see a ton. I saw our friend Marley tweeted out that his famous online dancing videos. I was like, Marley, you can't just dangle that piece of bait in front of a hungry fish. Yeah, it was good. I got really excited.
It was bad. Sounds like it was.
I got really excited, and it wasn't where I wanted it to be.
Sounds like the dude sucks at dancing.
He doesn't suck at dancing. It was just baseball, guys. It was like a dugout. It was like the Diamondbacks earlier this year doing like team. Oh.
So you're better?
Yeah.
You think you're better than him at blitzball?
No.
He's never played.
No.
Just got to find the slot. So I get 2 walks.
Right.
And then...
You can play blitzball, Trev.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to hear about it.
Yeah, you just got to buy the balls. Blitzballs. Amazon, blitzball.com. You can get the bats. You are in the next, well, not next week, but after that, you're in the next 3 out of the next 5 blitzball games on Back Alley Bats.
Built different.
Excited about that?
Yeah, we had a good time. That was a tough day, if I remember correctly, for pitching.
The elements were in play.
Elements were in play.
Yes.
Elements were in play.
We had a big, huge crowd surrounding us on all sides.
In the middle of a Bronx park. That comes out in two weeks.
We almost killed a baby.
Yeah. Oh my God. I hope we got that footage.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say we, it was you. So if you're itching for more Blitzball content, you can find their official YouTube channel linked in the description of this video. They post a ton of awesome videos, even compete against some pros. Nick Swisher was part of that. Oscar Mercado. Tucker I believe Kyle Tucker was part of that video. I did a breakdown on it. Got 1 million views. Kind of surprised me that that one got so high, but people love the blitzball stuff. Jake and I, after this very episode, are actually getting on a subway and going to play some blitzball. Little pop-up blitzball in Manhattan, Trev. We may tweet out the cross streets on our way there and say, like, anyone that's working in the city right now and wants to take
in Manhattan
wants to take a lunch break and come watch me and Jake play blitzball, a little pop-up shop blitzball in about 2 hours from now, hour and a half from now.
Indoor, outdoor?
Indoor.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a pretty funny setup.
Okay.
Yes. What were you going to say about Jose Siri and the dancing? Or were you going to pivot to something else before I did the
I was going to say the internet has ruined everything because you can see the best of the best of the best in anything. So, like, I've seen some awesome dancing now. If I just see someone doing a regular dance, I'm like,
It's my bad.
in everything. Like, I see these guys doing crazy stuff on guitars. I can just, like, watch someone play a guitar regularly, and I'm like, oh, you stink, because I know that there's this other guy that's amazing at it, and he's way better than you. I don't know. It's really
in
ruined it for
person.
me. The
In
metaverse
person,
is
that
getting
kind of
to
gets
me.
washed away, though. For me, at least.
I agree with that. The metaverse is it's taking over my life.
I mean, yeah.
I keep
TikTok's trained people
having
to
deja vu.
TikTok has trained people to be uninterested in less than a second.
Yeah.
It's-
Well, China gave it to us, and
Here we
then
go.
they banned it in their own country.
Now we're
So
back.
that doesn't make any sense.
Anything else going into Game 3? We don't have an episode tomorrow, so I guess any thoughts going into Game 3 in Atlanta? This was the first home win for the Astros since 2018. Be the first home World Series win for Atlanta since 1999. Jake has
I think they said 6.
Jake has thoughts.
I have a question. Who's your Astros starting outfield?
Yeah, that's the question. Brantley, Jordan.
Michael Brantley's 5 for 9 this World Series. Jordan just won ALCS MVP.
I think they start Jordan. I don't think they start Brantley. They might though, and then just like go defense late.
What's the how Jordan in the field compared to Brantley in the field?
Michael Brantley has the leg up. Michael Brantley, although he's lost some speed, he made that catch last night by the
Yeah,
foul
in the
pole,
corner. That was
and he's
my
played
bad.
a lot
Bad
of
day.
he's played a lot of MLB outfield. Jordan hasn't played a ton. The two BBD was on this earlier. Jordan has only played 2 games in the outfield this postseason, and both were left field in Houston.
So, but do you think that if you're going to do the drag and drop pinch hitter, you kind of want that to be a power bat and someone that might change up the pitching? So, like, maybe that leads Brantley. Brantley's a little better at leg up in defense, and then if you could just drop Jordan in a big moment and you can pinch hit him for Siri or
Pitcher spot.
Pitcher,
or potentially
double switch.
Gurriel. I know that
yeah.
doesn't seem like a fit right now, but if you get a tough righty and you can drop Jordan on them.
Can they do Tucker? Can they do Tuck in center?
So that's
would
the
be-
video game. That's the video
Can
game.
Jordan play first?
He can play first. He's played first.
I just go Tuck in center if he can play center.
But I think he's a below average center fielder, and then you have basically 2
Yeah,
Outfielder.
that's a tough
Keep one of them on
defensive
the bench. You
outfield
have a
right there.
weapon on the bench.
Who do you want? Answer this question,
Can we look?
because this is actually crazy.
Sure.
I've said Jordan Alvarez is like a top 5 hitter in the game for me. Who do you want up with a runner on second base down a run?
Brantley, right?
Jordan or Brantley? I think both. I mean, like, you can't choose incorrectly there. They're both incredible patient hitters.
Yeah, that's where I almost Michael Brantley's hitting style. I think this is different than what Jimmy was saying. Michael Brantley's hitting style, I think that plays better off the bench. I think
Me
I think
too.
you give Jordan his 3 at bats, and he gets a walk.
I
and
think
hope he
both
runs
do.
it. They're both amazing. That's the conversation, but like Michael Brantley coming in for a pinch hit at bat, it feels like he's going to create the action. He's going to barrel a ball and put it somewhere. But I don't know, man. I don't know the right answer. I don't know. And that's the other part of this that's interesting. And by the way, I know Jake Myers had gotten hurt. I didn't know if he was back. Your bench for the Astros, you have Siri. So if you went video game lineup, you have Siri ready to come in. If not,
Siri, Marwin.
they have Marwin Gonzalez, which I totally missed. So you're looking at some corner outfielder there, and it says Aladmides can play some outfield too.
Field.
So I don't know, man. It just gets really tricky because if you're the Astros and you're pressing this button for the video game outfield or whatever it is, I don't know if you can end the game with that. Like if it's the ninth inning and it's a close game, which we've been asking for and we haven't seen a lot, and your outfield is Jordan, Kyle Tucker, and Brantley across the board, like you're set up for failure.
I honestly think that's what they do. I think they put all three of those guys. We've seen in the playoffs, like,
Want to know how many times they did that this season? Tucker in center, Alvarez in left, and Brantley in right.
sure.
What's your guess? Jake's guessing 0. He's wrong.
How many interleague games do they play?
I don't know. They did it 4 times.
For full
They probably
games?
play-
For full games. That was
How many-
the starting. Well, I don't know if they subbed out, but that's they started.
Started.
Yep. They did it against the Padres. They did it against the Dodgers twice and the Giants once. So they've done it before. Maybe you do it tonight, and then you see where you're at, and then you do early switches if it's not working, and you get a lead early. Or if it really doesn't work, then you say we're not doing that again. But if it's an option, if they've done it before, I would run that out there. Because the Astros win by
They're
a lot
doing that.
or lose by a lot. They never even needed defensive
Not
replacements.
anymore,
late and close.
Jim. Not anymore. They're preheating the oven, man. Pretty soon there's going to be a massive explosion of close baseball games for you.
I'd run.
We're putting
I
that
didn't.
out
I didn't know
there.
that was an option. I'd run. I think that
Mm.
for me, it's not really a question anymore. I just do that.
So you play 20 interleague games a year, and they did it 4 times.
Well, but half
did
of those.
20%.
Well, 10 on the road.
Oh, I guess you're right. So yeah, that's definitely what they're going to go with. It does leave their bench extremely short.
Yeah, and that's where talking about these versions of the games, I'm wondering if you do have that in the chamber, why not go if you're pinch hitting for your pitcher in the 3rd or 4th inning, and if you have to roll a couple middle innings with that outfield, and maybe you're bringing in Javier, who can strike out anyone. Maybe you do that to get through the middle innings. You try to get 2 at-bats out of them, and then you throw in a Jose Siri. I don't know. I mean, it just makes for incredible baseball fodder.
Yeah. Jordan's also started 40 games in the outfield this year, so maybe this isn't that big a question for Astros lands as it is for us.
Where's our people? Where's Quentin?
Cubes.
Anything on the Braves side, like decisions that they have to make that we're missing for game 3?
Well, without a DH, you got Jock, you got Soler, you got Eddie.
Okay, you're right.
With Garcia starting, you're assuming that Soler starts on the bench. But that gets tricky too. And that dude homered to start the World Series.
He looks good.
Hot boy.
Hot. I mean, so maybe does he start over Duvall?
Old Thick?
Holthick's been man in center. I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. We will have to see.
Need Freddie to step it up. Need Freddie to hit a homer in game 3. That's what I'm
Okay,
banking
let's
on.
do it.
Mm.
Homer.
Garcia versus Eye on the kids,
Little-
man.
Little home cooking for Freddie.
They're boys.
How old is Garcia?
Both sexual in different ways. I mean, Ion's 23. Is Garcia 24? I'm in the Luis Garcia
Love that.
wormhole right now.
Got a lot of
A lot of Luis Garcias.
rookie cards and a lot of Ion Andersons.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, Garcia's 24.
Cool. All righty. We will see you guys on Saturday.
So no app tomorrow.
No app tomorrow. There's no game tonight, so nothing to talk about tomorrow.
Quinn Hubner said Brantley and Jordan in outfield seems like suicide. So, let's see what you got, Dusty. Let's see that plan.
Just do it. Then put Siri in center and those in the outfield. Let him run everything down.
Sit Tucker.
Get on the mound, little fucker.
It's good. All right. That's the app. See you guys on Saturday. Well, we'll be streaming tomorrow night, maybe. Probably. Saturday, we'll have a recap app. Appreciate you. Enjoy your Thursdays. If you're in Manhattan right now and watching live, head on to where we're going to be and watch some Blitzball.
And that was episode 420.